Hello there, my friend. My name is Tubble. This is Surviving Mars with the Green Planet DLC. It's out this week, and I'm very excited to get my dirty little grubby paws on this game to see how beautiful we can turn Mars, or if we can destroy it and make it even uglier than it already is. Let's hop into a new game. I do have a spot on the planet already picked out because I played there before, and I really like a nice flat area that has a lot of space to kind of put my domes in one area. So mission sponsor, this is kind of where we're saying who's sending us to Mars, who's paying the bill, right? Who is the overarching overlord of our mission? So we've got a lot of corporations, of course, and sponsors. I normally play with Spacefly personally. I really like a lot of the drone related things that they have, but there is a new sponsor here, Terraforming Initiative. The big one I see here, so it's like research per soul is 100 science per soul, I think, 100 research per soul. We also have about 8 billion in the bank right away. It's pretty average, I think. We get a little bit more than some of these other starts. We have rare metals price is 24 million. So yeah, everything is relatively comparative to the rest of these sponsors. Now the big one, it seems like, is that the terraforming technologies are actually 50% cheaper for research. That's going to be very huge when we get to the actual stage of researching the terraforming projects. We also get, it looks like, a couple of things right up front. We unlock Martian vegetation, which is the forestation plant, and we apparently unlock the interplanetary projects, which is, I'm guessing, what the overall project is as you're trying to terraform Mars. So maybe the overall global project of cooling or raising the temperature, of raising the water levels, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and take the new Terraforming Initiative sponsor. Nothing else jumps out at me other than the RC dozer at the start, although I don't know if we need the dozer. We'll have to take a look at the build out. Mission commander profile. The new commander is the geoengineer. Seed import cost is reduced by 50%. We also have some extra prefabs in the list. GHG factory and forestation plants, as well as designed forestation, which is newly grown forests have a chance to spawn vistas and research sites, which sounds pretty cool. Vistas give you a bonus to, I think it's to happiness or to your morale of your colonists who are in a residential zone inside of the area of effect of a vista. So that sounds like it could be kind of neat. We'll go ahead and take that. The logo, though, I don't know. I'm not too crazy about the trees. I think I'm going to go with something different. I really love some of this artwork, especially like the flag for Japan here. Of course, we also have the Brussels sprouts a la Quill. I like how the bio-robot and the family values look so disturbingly similar. Like, are they trying to encourage human and bionic integration? I don't know. That's fine. You know, we're open-minded here. I do think I'm going to pick the Blue Sun Corporation logo. I really like how minimalistic and pretty that is. So, get a bit of color in our logo. I'm not going to change the mystery. The mystery is kind of like a storyline, I guess, for your entire playthrough. We'll just see what comes up. We are going to have 3 rival colonies. We're not going to change any of the game rules right off the bat. All right, so we have a very green dropship. This is basically the Planet Express. So that's wonderful. We also have a couple of items already in the payload. So we've got, it looks like the RC dozer already comes with it. Now this says it can transport waste rock that is used for landscaping tasks. Now I don't know if this is important right off the bat or not, but I'm leaning towards this would be nice to have later, not necessarily right up front. What I would love to have up front is the RC Explorer, because the RC Explorer can analyze anomalies, which give you research, which might give you more access to resources and things like that. So we're going to take the RC Explorer. 2 drones is not a ton. What do we have in terms of prefab? So prefab is where you actually have the building pre-constructed, and all you have to do is install it, and it doesn't require any extra minerals or materials. It's right there ready to go. So I'm going to have 1 drone hub, which I think the drone hub comes with its own drones, doesn't it? Or was that the Space-Y thing? Oh god, now I don't know. We'll grab some extra drones just in case. I do want to take a moisture evaporator, because I want to be able to do everything I need to send this rocket back home. So basically we need fuel, we're going to need moisture, and we're going to need the fuel refinery itself. So we're going to need water and fuel to send the rocket home. Therefore, sending materials home, bringing people back, things like that. I think I'm going to only need 1 Stirling generator off the bat. It's nice to have a prefab generator, though, so you're not spending your precious polymers, machine parts, or electronics on creating the solar energy or the wind energy. So we have a little bit of space. What else do we want to add? I think I'd like to add a couple more drones for sure. We have 1 more spot. Is this all we have? Okay, so just 1 more spot. Maybe let's grab 1 more extra orbital probe. That's quite a few scans right off the bat. And what about our name of our ship? Why don't we say something like, let's do the Hope of Man. I don't know, that seems pretty grandiose, right? It's going to be a big adventure that we're undertaking here. So we are the Hope of Man, Spirit of Man, maybe. Spirit of Man. That sounds good to me. Spirit of Man, we're just painted an ugly green shade. That's fine. All right, so the Spirit of Man 1, of course, we may have all other vessels, but this is the first Spirit of Man. Let's pick our spot on top of Mars. Now, there are some areas that have been pre-sculpted by the developers. I think they've been kind of designed for certain interesting areas. The rest of the map, I believe, is kind of generated automatically. Now, I found a spot way before. If I can remember where the heck it is, I think it's 110 East. I'll know it when I see it. And about 4 South, I believe. I think this is it. 4 South and 110 East. The cool thing is that if you go to this spot, you'll actually be seeing the same map that I have. So if you want to join me and play along, this is going to be the map that I'm using. It's relatively flat, very high concentration of all 3 resources with a small amount of threat from meteors. So we just have to dodge a couple meteors here and there. Cold waves, dust storms, and dust devils aren't quite as much of a threat. So let us begin our voyage to Mars on the Spirit of Man. Welcome to Mars, Commander. Everyone at Mission Control is impatient to see the rocket touching down. Yes, indeed, me too. Let's go ahead and close the map. Here is... Let me pause the game as well. This is our region here. We can go to any area on our on the map in any of these grids. This is an area that is pre-scanned, so I normally will try to build somewhere near here. I do love this map, though. Look at how much open space we have. Uninterrupted, contiguous open space, because I love to have my domes kind of strung along together. It makes it have more of that, I don't know, that community, that city feeling to me. There are some areas also up on plateaus which might offer us a vista if it has that kind of anomaly there, and some higher points in case we need some solar, or rather some wind energy. So we have 5 probes that we're going to scan with. So I think I'm going to scan around the area right near the launch site or landing site that has already been pre-scanned. Very nice. We got water off the bat, more concrete. Let's keep going north a bit. That looks like a metal deposit. There is a bunch of stuff here. This is a vista, I believe. Yeah, this is a vista. So it improves the comfort, that's what it was, not morale, but comfort of any residents when they're in the radius of a dome. So if this is in the radius of a dome, it's going to provide a little bit of happiness and comfort for everyone living there, which is pretty fancy. Okay, so this is all relatively scanned out. I like what we're looking at. We've got, looks like some rare metals here. There is a couple of anomalies. There are a couple of anomalies. We've got underground water right here, which we can harvest and send back home. I think I'll go ahead and keep everything nice and tucked together by putting our first rocket landing site. Yeah, let's put it relatively close by. We'll put it right in the middle of all this fancy stuff. Unpause the game. We have a ton of messages here on the side of the screen. So what do we see here? We have start by researching a terraforming technology to start transforming the 4 terraforming parameters: atmosphere, temperature, water, and vegetation. Terraforming is a long process. You sure we just can't nuke it and drop a... Oh, look! Literally drop a ice asteroid onto the surface. Wonderful. This is a capture ice asteroid. This action may cause a Marsquake disaster. Crash ice asteroids on the Mars surface to improve the water levels. Send an expedition. Very cool. We need 100 computer machine parts? What is this? Not polymer. It's whatever isn't polymer or machine parts, and I don't honestly remember. It is... electronics? Fuel, there we go. So it needs 100 fuel. That would make sense, right? It would need 100 fuel in order to do that mission. Okay, so there are some new terraforming things. We know some vegetation research. I mean, we're not going to be getting into this for a little bit, mostly because we still have to get our planet ready to receive colonists. Okay, I've selected a bunch of sectors to scan. Research. We have a new research tree now. So it's kind of more vertical than it was before. It used to be horizontal. We have the addition of the terraforming group here, or category. It looks like, is this 75? Does this mean it's 75% already researched? Or I'm not entirely sure what this means. It doesn't look like it's already researched. 75%, maybe that's the cost of it. So greenhouse Mars. This is GHG factory burns fuel to increase the temperature of Mars using greenhouse gases. So the way technology works is you start out with a bunch of random cards, for lack of a better term, and as you unlock something through research, you'll get another one that's random in that same tree. So inside of, say, the engineering tree, we might get, the next thing might be something to improve the quality of the fuel, or the usage of the fuel in the rocket, or it might be a brand new building. I don't remember if it's under engineering tree or not, but so far we've got Moxie upgrade, which is going to increase the oxygen production. Rocket cargo space increased by 10,000 K, which is going to be incredibly important. We've got RC transport harvest faster. We don't have an RC transport yet. Wind turbine upgrade, and receive a one-time grant of $1 billion. So I'm going to queue up rocket cargo space increase. This is going to be very useful early on, and we'll go ahead and grab this social thing here. This is the Mars crowdfunding. Try to raise a little bit more money because money is very important. So we're getting 100 research per soul. We also could outsource this and pay a little bit more money in order to get extra research for X amount of days. So we're going to leave it as is for the moment. I don't know how much money we're going to be blowing right out of the gate. All right, we've also achieved a milestone. There's a list of milestones here. If you're the first group to do these milestones, you're going to get some research points. So there are 3 other competitors. So if we're the first ones to send a rocket from Mars back home, then we're going to get 250 bonus research. So that's what that means on the side. All right, enough explanation. Let's unpause and get to the building, make with the constructionness. Right off the bat, I'm going to wind up putting down, let me speed things up a bit so we can unload our fancy pants rocket. Okay, we're going to drop our drone hub relatively close by in the middle here because it's in the middle of the kind of the concrete here, the water, the metals, things like that. I'll probably put down my first, what would you call that, dome, somewhere in this general vicinity. Let's also put down our power, which was a Stirling generator. I normally try to keep my stuff all nice and kind of stacked together. I really love the idea of having a nice organized area. I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to my designs, and if you are familiar with the channel, you obviously would know that already. Let's go ahead and grab a bit of concrete. It's under, I think, production, concrete extraction here. We'll go ahead and just have it facing a bit backwards. 1,400 available resource anywhere on this spot. So we'll put it right next to the power generation. And finally, I think I'm going to put down, whoops, wrong button. We'll also do, let's get this going first, and then I'll start putting the rest of my construction items down. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because it's very easy to go a bit ham. There's the Stirling generator. I'm going to have it come off and talk to the drone hub here. We'll have a little point here to connect in with the power cable with the concrete mixer here, concrete extractor. RC Explorer's not doing anything. Let's go have it work on that anomaly. Then we'll queue up another anomaly, and I think that's as many anomalies as we currently have out here. Oh, 3. Okay. We'll have it go analyze 3 anomalies once it's done. We'll wait for our little drones to finish up. I think, did it actually unload more drones or no? I see a lot of drones. Okay, so that does mean that the drone hub does come with its own additional drones. Right now, all the drones are being controlled by our rocket here. Oh, dang it. When this rocket takes off, it's a bit too close to the drone hub. It's going to get it a little bit dirty. Not the end of the world, but I generally try to avoid landing the rocket super duper close to other things. Not working. Why is this not working? We don't have power generating right now. Why is the Stirling generator must be connected to a power consumer? I thought we kind of are. Oh, this is where it's connecting over. Okay, I guess we're just waiting for that to finish up. Let's wait for the drones to do their thing. Okay, the drone is now, or sorry, alright, the Stirling generator has been finished, so it's now operating properly. I think if I open it, protected from dust, but it produces less power. We'll produce 10 more electricity if it's open. I don't think we need, we're producing 10, we're demanding 8. So right now we're actually not over the limit, so we're okay. We got ourselves an anomaly, and the anomaly gave us some new technologies available to research. Low G drive. Thanks to the voiceover guy. Low G drive, it's going to give us a boost to speed for rovers and drones. And then we also got discover, oh wow, really? Discover 6 new planetary anomalies right off the bat. That's pretty fun. I'm going to go ahead and queue that bad boy up. That would be cool, because then you start to, you kind of snowball your anomalies, right? They keep giving you more research, and then you're able to keep getting more and more along your tree earlier on. So I really want one of these researches will give you an extra 100 research per soul, which is super, super helpful. All right, so we are starting to extract concrete. That's where I want to be right now. Let's go ahead and start building up our power supply, and I'll put in some handy dandy batteries along the... Let's see, what do I want to do this here? I normally do it a certain way. Like, I try to almost have a road with my power. Let's also put down the water extractor. Since we actually have one, an actual water resource, we're going to be able to use the water extractor as opposed to using the water vaporator. It's going to cost 6 concrete and 2 machine parts. I'll put it pretty much at the edge. I think you can have more than one on here, so they can actually kind of share in how the production area. All right, let's put that there. And I'll go ahead and unpause. Like I tend to forget to unpause sometimes. I'll keep it paused for way too long. We'll just roll with it on for a while. Let's go ahead and have our pipes come out like this. If I would actually hit the button. And we'll go ahead and have our power probably mirror or go under it. Can I share the same tube or no? Let's see. Can we go under the same spot? I think we can. Cool. So I'm going to have like a main highway here of power and water. And then this will kind of go out this way to where our domes are going to go down. So those should be all set to go once we're ready for it. This little dude needs some power, so he's going to go back to his drone hub to recharge. Meanwhile, everything else I think is okay. I do need to drop power off at the water itself. No, don't do it like that. That's ugly. We must have cables making sense. Can I just do it like that? It's always going to curve in. What a bummer. All right, we'll just do it like this. We'll do our power down the line like this. And then it will curve in and touch the water extractor. So we also need to do, we need to have a little bit of water storage. Now, our vehicle here, our tank, well actually, you know what? We don't need water for the actual rocket. We just need it for the fuel production. So we could have fuel production, say, down here a little bit. We could do, don't we have a fab for it? A fabricator for, I thought, yeah, here, just fuel refiner right there. So if I put the fuel refinery somewhere like this, if I can keep spinning it around, this is on the same angle, I think. Let's move it down just a couple notches. I don't think you also don't need to have separate water piping systems. Like it's all intelligent piping, I guess. So it can all run kind of on the same system. So we'll give it some water, we'll give it some power, and we will start to process water and whatever else is needed into fuel. Drone heavy load. There's a lot going on in the drone. So I think there's, is it at the drone hub? It's basically, I think it means it's trying to control too many drones at once. And I think there's an actual button for this somewhere. Not this one. Let me actually go into my menus here. It's been a while since I've started poking at my menus and whatnot. Planetary view. I just don't remember where that's at now. Transportation heavy load. This is all it's really telling me. Drones, there are 4 out of 20 drones. The drone load is heavy. I thought that's just meaning there's a lot of drones trying to do something and not a lot of controllers doing it. How do we get to the drone view? There is a drone view somewhere. I'm not sure where the drone menu is. I'm sure we'll come across it at some point. Let's take a look at some of these other menus here. We've got ourselves a mission goal menu or screen. These are missions that are given to us by our sponsor, and they're obviously a little bit leaning towards our sponsor's background, right? So a lot of terraforming goals. So if we were to get to the 25% terraforming progress of transforming the temperature where it needs to be, we would get 2 small lake prefabs. Or if we were able to get 8 terraforming technologies, we would get 100 extra sponsor research. I'm guessing that's per soul. So that would be very, very useful. And that might be something worth rushing some of the terraforming technologies just to get that extra sponsor research. Because the earlier you get sponsored research every turn, the more that's going to help you in the long run. 35% overall terraforming progress, we get a flat science boost or research boost. A brand new rocket at 60% of water, and then a capital city will get 200 enthusiast applicants back on Earth. The applicants is something we'll talk about probably next episode if we're ready for that or not. We may not even be at this point. We got ourselves another anomaly.
Today,
500 million funding. Very nice. $500 million in funding there. A bunch of hints. I'm going to skip the hints for a bit. I don't think we really need to worry about a lot of the terraforming early on. Maybe not. Maybe we should be doing some basic stuff. But I do know we need to get our domes going and ready. So we start out with a couple of domes. We have what is this? Contains a small dome suitable for the early days of the colony, together with water and oxygen producing facilities and storage. Oh, this is interesting. Construction layout places the following buildings: a small dome, Moxie, which is your oxygen generation, 2 moisture vaporators, water tower, tank, food depot, power cables, and pipes. This is really cool. Research moisture farming to build moisture vaporators or get prefabs from Earth. Oh, that's really cool. It builds everything for you? How neat is that? So this is you can put this down and have your initial starting dome, I think, with everything you might need. Is that the case? It's just kind of, is it pre-designed? It's basically the same size dome, right? Okay. Construction costs 20 polymers, 34 bricks, and, sorry, metals, not bricks. And it's going to have, what is that? 80 concrete. So polymers is going to be the limiter on that one. We're not going to have enough polymer. Let's go ahead and open up our Stirling generator. We're out of power a little bit. Must be connected to a water consumer. Yeah, there's nowhere to send the water right now, so that's kind of complaining at us. We can put down, or start to put down, some storage here for life support. We'll put down some water towers. I normally try to break them off a little bit. We'll have like a line of water towers here, something like this. And we'll also have a line of, I don't think we need anything for fuel. We only need it right now for water, and we'll need it for oxygen later on, but we're not generating oxygen just yet. Okay, I think we need to go ahead and send ourselves a second follow-up rocket, or, in this case, probably a delivery pod. We do have a second rocket available if we wanted to use it. Have we researched that first technology? I thought we did. Where we get a little bit more rocket storage. We have, or not. Fuel compression gives you increased rocket storage. No, okay. If this gets to 100%, then I'll send ourselves a second rocket, because right now it's really not needed to, I don't know, it would be a waste to miss out on 10,000 kilograms of extra space. So let's go into our rocket system here, the resupply, and we'll use a supply pod. It's $100 million, super cheap, and this is normally a great way to send yourself spare parts as well as food and things like that. So I'm going to send myself a shipment of spare things first, like, say, polymers. We'll go ahead and launch one of these rockets, or one of these supply pods first. And I could order myself another one, right? Available supply pods, 0 out of 1. Did I send myself one already? I think I did. We could send ourselves another prefab, or, which is what I think I want to get a transport, because a transport's going to let us go out and get steel and metals and stuff. Not steel per se, but metal. And that's going to be very helpful for the development of our colony. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this one as well. And I think available supply pods, 0 out of 2. Right, we've used 2 of the supply pods up. Cool. So they're going to be prepared and sent our way. I think we'll get a notice about whenever they... Oh, there it is right here. It is 3% on the way to Mars. So they like instantly sent those pods on their merry way. Here we go. The command center link, I think. The command center button down here. I believe this is where we can see our little drone friends, right? Life support, building colors, transportation, drone hubs right here. This is how many transportation network. This is a little bit different, I think. Unpack, pack drone for reassignment. Okay, there's a rocket here. So the Spirit of Man has 4 drones in it. I believe whenever this takes off again, the drones will be dropped off to the drone hub. The workload thing, maybe I'm not really familiar with. Maybe it's just how much they're trying to do and how, you know, what kind of processing power you have. Or maybe there's too many jobs queued up right now for all of these drones. I have no idea. We'll explore it and learn as we go. So, let's also do a couple more things. We need to have a place to drop off all the nasty rocks that are going to be made, or these right here. This is basically waste rock. We need a place for waste rock to go. So we also want to put down a pad so we can kind of have our ship land every so often. Here we go. Large dumping site. We'll put that somewhere over here out of the way. And I'm really glad that there is a way to get rid of this stuff, though, because it always was really an eyesore. So it seems like right here, landscaping, we can... Oh, what is this? Marks a flat surface to be extended into the neighboring terrain by drones. Oh, this is new. We can terraform stuff. Like... Oh, that is so cool. So all the complaining that I was doing about the fact that, oh, you know, this area we're not able to use it or anything. This is so cool. You can fill it in, it looks like. Small rock formation, a stylish composition made of native Martian rocks. Marks 2 flat surfaces to be connected with passable ground by drone. Curious and curious. I don't know anything about this, but at least it's pretty interesting either way. I'm sure we'll get more options available in this list, maybe. Marks the top layer of a surface to be rearranged by drones. Mixed sands mountains, mixed rock. That is so cool. Sand. So in theory, I mean, there's nothing that's really changing here, I suppose, so maybe I'll just cancel that order, but it's pretty cool that this is even an option. We have analyzed an anomaly. 50 new applicants are now available on Earth because we found ourselves a new vista, I think, right? Where did that go to? Oh, maybe it was a once-off. It doesn't look like it's a permanent thing. So we just discovered it, and everyone back home was like, ooh, look, it's pretty in red. And they're like, yay, I totally want to go to Mars now. Good on you, people. Good on you. All right, so that's all taken care of. We are starting to store up our water. We are going to be processing our fuel. We need somewhere to store our fuel. So we'll go to the storage area, Universal Depot. Actually, why don't we do a resource-specific depot? We'll put fuel kind of between, halfway point. We'll put it between the rocket and where the fuel refinery is. Now, we can build a rocket landing pad. This is only cost 10 concrete, and it's going to be a spot that protects nearby buildings and vehicles from dust during rocket landings and takeoff. So we could kind of sneak this right into everywhere, I think, and it's not going to hurt anything if we put it really close to all of our other items. So maybe we don't put, or why don't we put this rather in, I don't know, over by our water tanks? Facing another direction like this? It seems pretty legit. I mean, it's all tucked in. Again, I really love the idea of creating almost like a highway of piping and stuff like that. Ooh, on that note, hang on. Let's move it out just a bit, just in case I extend this piping down a bit. There we go. It's beautiful. Perfect. And I believe we'll still be in range of all of the drones. They'll be able to go get the resources from it and move away, and etc., etc. Okay. We've got our other pods here halfway to Mars, or over halfway to Mars. We are going to be refueling our ship. You can see here that we actually are automatically refueling it. So once we get to 50 fuel inside the Spirit of Man 1, we will be able to send it home. I would love to actually go ahead and send it home with some metals, but I think the underground rare metals extractor has to be staffed by colonists unless we have some kind of automation research. All right, what else do we need to have? A little bit more storage. Let's go ahead and put down a centralized storage area. Oof, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Let's zoom back in here. All right, let's put down storage for concrete. We'll put some storage down for concrete right outside of the concrete extractor. Quite a bit of space for concrete. I think that's going to build up over time, so we're going to have quite a lot of concrete. When they start extracting from here as well, wasn't there another spot too down here? The drones will still move things over. Man, this is why I really miss the Space Y company, because the drones are flying drones, and it's so easy for them to move something from point A to point B. And I really, really enjoyed the flying drones. All right, we're about to get our 2 supply drops in, so we'll drop those down here. Oh, we also need general, kind of like general storage for other items. So I'm going to say like a universal storage instead. We'll do Universal Depot, kind of a 3 wide here. So it's going to collect pretty much everything else that we might have delivered. Maybe it's even going to probably double up on the concrete and mess all my organization up, but that's okay. That's fine. We will drop down the landing pods here out of the way so they don't make anything super dusty. Can I land them both at the same time? And I think our drones will go and unload those automatically. Then you can kind of deconstruct them for more metal pieces, which is kind of cool. Yeah, they land and explode. Salvage will give you 5 metal from salvaging. Cool. Alrighty, we've got our first resupply pod. We've got our first RC transport. The RC transport is cool because you can say, I want you to, let's see, load resources from, or transport? I think it's a transport route. Yeah, so if we give it an order to go somewhere, let's say we want it to go here. There's some metal in this area. So I'm going to say go here, load up everything you find, take it home, and unload it here. So it's going to go out to that point. It's going to load up anything it finds. Like there's some random, metals here on top of the surface of Mars. It's going to pick that up and load it, and then drop it off into the appropriate storage area. So the transport drone can really help supplement your early game materials by going out, especially metal. Not so much, I think, electronics, obviously, or machine parts, but yes, metal, and yes to some polymers as well. Excellent. The extract, what is this? While digging in the dirt, a drone has stumbled upon a crashed supply pod almost entirely buried below the red sand. It cannot be identified. Ooh. We discovered several blueprints of unknown purpose. Your team stares at the strange designs and is trying to make sense of them, and you decide to join in. Clearly, the part designated as O1K64 goes into the power coupling in. You know what this is? It is a what? We could get a shuttle hub, 2 lasers, a subsurface heater, and a triboelectric scrubber. I don't know what any of these things do. Shuttle hub is somewhere I think that people can land and going between long distances on your map. So I don't think we need a shuttle hub yet. Subsurface heater or triboelectric scrubber. I don't know. I think let's pick the subsurface heater. I really don't know what the heck it's going to be. Let's find out where that was. Is that going to be under terraforming? Here's our forestation stuff. We get a forestation plant and a GHG factory. Ooh, capital city requires breathable atmosphere. That's so cool. This is a node. It looks like it's a non-domed type of construction. Very cool. Where is the thing I just found at? Triboelectric? Was that it? I don't see it here. Nor here. Subsurface heater. Increases the local temperature in cold areas and protects nearby buildings from cold waves. Okay, that's really cool. Not exactly our biggest problem here. I thought it was something to do with the actual overall terraforming mission, but that's all right. Terraforming, temperature, yada, yada, yada. I guess we actually have... I mean, if we have these projects, why not put them out, right? We have, it looks like, 2... Consume seeds to plant wild vegetation, increasing local soil quality. Plants will wither or grow according to local soil quality and global temperature. Well, then we don't want to put forestation down, right? Because we don't have any kind of temperature. Now, raising the temperature would make sense. This is going to... Available prefabs too. What the hell? Oh, that was oh, we're in the middle of a meteor storm. Or is that just a one-off meteor? Normally it tells you when you're about to have a meteor storm. So maybe that was just kind of a one-off. The cool thing is that it drops metals inside of that meteor, which is really cool. Right, so we could put down a GHG factory. It burns fuel and locally extracted carbon to release greenhouse gases. Has significantly boosted terraforming effect at low temperatures. Oh, I don't know if our area of Mars is a low temperature region or not. Can I see another picture of Mars at all? I don't know if I can. Command center, milestones, planetary view. No, I actually can't. I can't really see what it's telling me in other areas, like how hot and how cold it is. Here's some other... Oh, here's ours. Our colony here. Colony of Europe, colony of Paradox Interactive, and colony of the United States. I don't know why some developers have their own colony, but hey, with all the money that Paradox makes off of their games, maybe they can afford to send a terraforming crew to Mars. More power to them. Okay, so I can't see exactly if this is a hot or cold area, but hey, since we have this, and we were hired to come here and start terraforming, why don't we put it down? We're going to have fuel that's not being used after our rocket goes home. So let's put it down over near the fuel, I suppose. Let's put it over here in the middle of nowhere. Ah, sweet, sweet greenhouse gases. I love it. All right, we're going to put both of these down. I don't know at all what it's going to, cost in terms of how much fuel production and what have you. And give it both a little bit of power, since that's going to be slightly important, I think. And I guess they'll be delivering fuel there. That's really neat. So we can actually start on our terraforming progress. And since it is a very long-term project, maybe this is more helpful to do early on. Okay, well, this sounds like a good point to put a wrap into this first episode. Thank you all so much for joining me for this new look at surviving Mars with the Green Planet DLC. Very excited to get back into this wonderful game. Very relaxing, calm atmosphere. I'm very excited right now, so I'm talking a bit fast, I'm sure. So maybe some more episodes in, I'll be a little bit more chill, and we'll enjoy the relaxed city building aspect or colony building aspect of this game. If y'all have any questions about the game, please let me know in the comments below. We do have a link in our description of the video for Discord if you'd like to join our community, and a link to Patreon if you'd like to support the creative process. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I do appreciate your viewage, and I do look forward to seeing you again soon. Until that point, my friends, take care.